Scott and Kieran here with South West Boxing Media and Association Bricks and Street. We're delighted to be joined today with middleweight star Nathan Heany. Nathan, how are you, buddy?
Very good. Thank you, mate. Yeah, I'm all good. Just went for a little walk in Trentham Gardens, which is our local little nature place around here, and got myself a little McDonald's coffee earlier. So I'm all ready, mate. But yeah, all good.
Oh, wicked. Last time we talked, I found out you were a teacher as well. You still doing half the week as teaching, or you full on professional?
Yeah. So basically, I still mix the careers together. So I do the teaching 3 days a week. So Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then the other days of the week are dedicated. I mean, I'm boxing every single day, but the other 2 days now allow me to get out and do the sparring with the top boys that I need to be sparring, really.
Oh, wicked.
Nathan, you were back in the ring in February, mate, with a win against Ryan Oliver in a good performance. You'd been out of the ring for about a year up until that point. Was there any nerves, mate, about getting back in there, or was it just pure excitement to get back to it?
It's weird. Like, I always have the adrenaline rushes in the lead up to a fight anyway, that you just do every time. It's weird how your body sort of perceives just the thoughts. You'll just think of a movement that you're doing. All of a sudden, your body thinks it's fighting, and the adrenaline goes just like it would in a fight. It's a bit weird, a bit of a blur, really, in terms of there was a lot of stress in regards to obviously the testing itself. Like, you didn't even know your fight was on until you were down there and you had the COVID test and you said you'd passed or not. So there was a lot of stress in regards to that. The nerves of the fight, I honestly can't remember what I was thinking at the time, whether in the build-up to it, because it was a weird one because I didn't have my crowd there. There was a lot of questioning before the fight in regards to obviously me not having my crowd there and how it would affect my performance. But I always had to say it wasn't going to affect my performance, even though it does affect your performance. That I had to do that from a mental standpoint, I think, as a fighter. But no, the nerves, I think I was fine with the nerves. It was it's just one of them. It was just a weird scenario to be in.
Yeah, mate. I mean, during these tough times, we've had a few upsets, shall we say, and some have said, not having fans has played a massive role in that. Obviously, like you just said, it's no secret you've got a massive fan base. How was it for you fighting without them there, mate? Was it more difficult for you, or was it just a matter of just getting the job done?
Yeah, it went the way I imagined, in the sense of when you're fighting, you're not focused on the person anyway. Thinking back, you don't even realise that there's thousands of people watching at home. You forget the cameras are there because literally just focus on that one person. But I think the bit that I noticed that probably affected my performances, when I had the lad hurt, I probably needed to step up just another 5-10% to possibly get him out of there. Whereas with the crowd not being there, when they're roaring, when you let the shots go, it does make you go that little bit more. It does. I think I was a bit too relaxed after the first round. When I realised I wasn't going to blast him out straight away, I just started boxing and took my time a bit. And I probably did take my foot off the gas. But it was one of them. I hadn't boxed for Kieran mentioned before. It's been nearly 12 months since I last boxed. So it was one of them. It's just, yeah.
Was it also weird, mate? Delilah being blasted and, no one singing it apart from you?
I did see a lad during the first lockdown. He was on an MTK show and he was a Welsh lad and he played Delilah. Now, I don't know whether he just did it just because Tom Jones and obviously he's from Wales, or he must have seen my walkout and thought that's a good tune to walk out to. But I said on the story, if I ever walk out to Delilah without a crowd, I'll be singing. But I said that in jest, never thinking I'd have to actually do it without a crowd. So when it comes to this one, I thought, I've still got to do it because I don't have any superstitions and that. I'm not that kind of fighter, but I do like routine in a way. And it's almost like for me, it's like a Stokey version of a haka for New Zealand. Like, you come out, it's like your tribal kind of song. And so for that one, it's funny because, I didn't realise how quiet the music was going to be in the arena. And it was very quiet. So fortunately, you couldn't hear me on the TV. But in the arena, you could hear every single syllable that I was singing. Even the one bit where I put my dick, the naughty word. I didn't think he thought like that one. He didn't like that one. They cut straight away just as I was about to sing it. But yeah, it's but I did it, and it was just weird. The old time I was doing it, I'm thinking, if anyone can hear me at him, I'm going to look alright, not be it. But it looked okay. It didn't look too bad actually in the end.
I mean, you did put Ryan down right on the bell. I mean, was it frustrating that you weren't able to sort of jump on him and get it done? Because we did hear a little whisper as well that a few of your mates had a little bet on our round as well, mate.
Yeah, well, that one, he thought he must have hurt me. He come with a good shot. He didn't hurt me, but fair play to him. He did what he should be doing. He started to come at me a little bit, and as he was doing that, I'm thinking, "Come on, son, come on!" And I was like, "What?" And then bang, hit him with the left and dropped him. He's lucky the right hand didn't hit him because that's me better shot, the right handers. But yeah, like you say, 4 seconds later the bell rang. So I think if it had been like, let's say, a minute earlier, I think I would have stopped him. But I can't say I definitely would have because he was a very tough lad. But yeah, it was frustrating, particularly when the lads putting the bets on and stuff. I didn't know they bet on that particular round, but I don't gamble myself. I never bet on box. I don't bet on any sports. So I don't like people betting on me because I think, they're losing money. But they'll also win money if I'd have knocked him out. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of them. Frustrating, but yeah.
This was, your first fighting as a Frank Warren fighter with, Queensby Promotions. But I mean, was that the year out? This is your first fighting for Frank. Pressure, mate? Was it pressure? Were you eager to impress, or was it just, let's just get the win and move on?
Yeah, the pressure was there in terms of obviously you want to look good when you're doing it and stuff. And for me, it was the fact I was fighting with. When my last fight, there was like 1,300 people there. And this time, there was no one there. So that's the first time in my career I've ever really had something like that. So the pressure was there in terms of, can this lad perform without a crowd? Because that's what every single question was when I was having the interview lead up to it. And I think I watched my performance back, and it was frustrating at times to watch it. There were certain times I was like setting up little shots, but I wasn't putting anything on the end of it. So it looked like I was being dead lazy. But sometimes I was also waiting to slip the shot to counter over the top. Yeah. Whereas I should have been doing what my coach was saying, Stephen, and flicking the jab out in between, making it look like I was being busier than what at particular times I was. But it was one of them, man. On reflection, I was happy with my performance. Yes, the lad had come up in weight, but he wasn't actually that much smaller than me. He was still 6 foot. He was the same height as me. He must have killed himself to get to welter, whatever it was that he got to before. And even he said himself, he didn't box at welterweight. The weight was actually above that anyway for his last fight. It's just that's what they put on paper. Just like ours. In fact, they put my fights as super middleweight. But I bloody weighed in 11.5. I was a middleweight because that's what I am. I'm a middleweight. But that was annoying me because everyone was like, he's not a super middleweight. And I was like, I've never said I'm a super middleweight. I'm not a super middleweight. I'm a middleweight. But that's obviously just what they marketed as. But yeah, it's done now, and I've got it out of the way. I can show I can perform. But I think it totally depends on the opponents. I know I'm waffling on loads here, guys. I do apologise. But
that's fine, mate. It's fine.
Because I know there's a lot of there's a few peers online that are like sort of criticising and picking faults and blah blah blah. But it is what it is. They can think I'm rubbish if they want. I don't care, because just like Ryan Oliver said after the fight, he said you were way better than I thought you were going to be. And I've had that comment loads of times from fighters where I don't know what they expected. Because he expected that I couldn't punch at all. Because that's what he said. Someone said you were feather-fisted, and I thought, I don't know where the bloody hell that's come from, because I can punch reasonably hard. Granted, my record doesn't suggest that, but I've also boxed lads that don't get stopped, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, like, some lads have got records where they've knocked 5 out of 8 lads out. But if you look at the guys that they've knocked out, the guys have been knocked out 10 times before they fought them. So, it is what it is, and it's...
I saw, Nathan, you said you and Ryan were talking a lot during the fight. Is that like normal practice? You and your opponents, you normally like chat or say things to one another during a fight?
Yeah, no, I don't normally talk in fights. He was talking to me quite a bit. He said something like, I'm an odd C word. I was thinking, yeah, you are, to be fair. You are quite tough. But there's another one, it's funny, because I threw a body shot and it landed. And it wasn't brilliant, but it was a good shot. I landed and he went, no. He said, no. He went, nope. So I threw another one. I went, bang. it was better. And I went, yeah. And it was like, it's just funny. He went, boom, no. And I went, boom, yeah. And he was like, but he smiled. He was very poker faced, in fact, because he said in an interview that I watched after, he said the first round, I caught him with a body shot, and if it had been just 1% more, he'd have gone down. He thought I was going to stop him in the first round. He did. He said, I can't believe this is going to happen on TV. But granted, he was very poker faced. I didn't know he was hurt at all. And in credit to him, he did very well.
We mentioned briefly about obviously signing with Frank, Nathan. I mean, as we all did, Frank must have seen before he signed you the 400 fans taking over the Birmingham Arena back in November in 2019. And it must have been an attractive factor for him signing you, because just tell us, as is important your in-ring ability, it's just as important as well being a ticket seller in the modern day game, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm under no illusion that I know why I'm there as well. But I can fight. Listen, what I'm trying to say is, I'm not saying I'm not a good fighter. But there's loads of great fighters in the country, but there's not many with my support base, and there isn't. Yeah. Generally, especially not from the small scene. Like if you've got like your big boys on the big stage that have had the exposure from the times they've been on the GB squad and all this kind of stuff. Granted, they're going to have that kind of exposure, but I'm literally someone that came from having 60 people on my debut to then having hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people watching me after. It's amazing how it's grown. And yeah, fortunately, I can fight though. It's not like I'm one of them guys that's been signed purely for tickets, but I can't back up with performances. It's just going to be interesting this year in terms of what fights we're going to get and stuff, because I will raise it to the opponents that are there. Like, I haven't shown the best in my ability yet. I definitely haven't, and I've still got to work on what my coach wants me to do, because I still frustrate him by not doing certain things he wants me to do. But I am still learning. I am still getting better, even though I am older. But I still feel good. I've still got a good couple of years in me anyway.
Did you spar him with Zach Parker, Lerone Richards? I mean, it must help, but it must also tell you as well that, Zach Parker and Lerone Richards wouldn't just have anybody sparring them, would they? You're obviously at that ability. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I've had good spars with both the lads. So when it's not like we're going in there and it's worlds apart. We've had some very good spars, like Zach Parker. I think it was Zach. Yeah, Zach was possibly my last spar before me opponent there. And Zach's a very, very, very good fighter. Slips under the radar completely in terms of the general public. But in terms of fights, I think he's very, very good. And like Lerone Richards, like, I don't think anyone saw that happening. Like, in terms of, but someone did win a very big bet off some feedback, because some lad from Ireland messaged me, said, who's going to win out of Hutchinson and Richards? And I said, on paper, it looks like Hutchinson should win, but I know that Lennox Clark can bang, because I've obviously been in there with him. I said he's going to be a handful for him. So the lad was like, that's enough for me. Put 100 quid on for him to win. So I'm like, well, yeah. But they ended up winning from an accumulator they did. He won like $2,000 from it. So fair play. But yeah, Lerone is not. I'm thinking of the wrong person here. I'm thinking Lennox Clark, not Lerone Richards. I'm thinking of Lennox Clark.
That's
Sorry,
right,
ignore me. Yeah, but obviously Lerone Richards, that was ages ago, Lerone was. Because I'd spotted Liam Williams 1 week, and then I spotted Lerone Richards the following week. Yeah, sorry, lads, I got totally mixed up there. I'm thinking of Lennox Clark. But Lennox Clark, either way, let me go back. Lennox Clark did very well, because I've been sparring with Lennox and Zach, because they were the more recent ones, they were. Because bloody Lerone Richards was ages ago, but that's something I need to do now, though. I'm going to be sparring the top boys again.
Are you going to be staying at middleweight now? I mean, obviously you said you've done super middleweight or super now, mate? Yeah,
middleweight is my weight. That's my weight. It's just, like, for example, the IBO one that I won, that was at middleweight, but it was at 11.78 before. I think it's more of a catch kind of weight kind of thing that we were doing. So we just did 11.8, and then because that title was vacant, so that's why we fought for that. So, but yeah, middleweight's my weight.
Within the division as well, Nathan, there's a great fight to look forward to later this month with Denzel Bentley and Felix Cash for the British and Commonwealth titles. Is the British something that you've got a bit of an eye on as well, mate, moving forward?
Yeah, I've got to admit, I think out of everything I want to do, I think becoming a British champion is is the one. Like, anything after that, I'm under no illusion how tough it would be to ever win anything after that. And I know how tough it is in the first place to win a British title. But if you won a British title, you never know what you can do after that. But for me, the British title is the one that I've got to really focus on now. Like last night when my coach Steve was saying, "Come on, Heany, like you need to train like, even though we've got no fight lined up, you need to train like a champion." I was thinking to myself, yeah, I want to be a British champion. So you just start working a bit harder, and the British title is what I want. I want it. That's what I want.
Who do you see winning that fight, by the way? I think it's a great fight. It's a 50-50. How do you see it going?
It's dead hard because it's the reason it's so hard is because, like I'd have said 3 fights ago for Denzel Bentley, I'd have said Felix Cash. But in Denzel Bentley's last performance against Mark Efron, he performed really well. Boxed nice.
Yeah, very impressive, yeah.
And he looked a completely different fighter than he did the first time. And, like I said before, when it comes to opponents and you see who they fought before, and they've had these guys again knocked out left, right and centre, and that's why they've got a bit of a Paddy KO record. Now, Bentley hasn't got that. Bentley's fought guys that I know, because I boxed the guys myself, that they are like granite rock chins, and he's knocked them out, and I'm thinking, he's got to have something special there, power-wise, to knock these guys out, because I hit him rock hard, and I can punch reasonably hard, and they hardly flinched. I had him hurt at times and wobbled it, but I never finished them off. Whereas he has finished them off. So I'm thinking he's got some power there. So that's the equaliser in that fight. But Felix Cash can also bang. That's why it's a great fight, though. It's a really... Yeah. I can't pick. I can't pick because if Bentley catches him, well, then he could hurt him. But Felix Cash can also bang, but he's got the ability to box. I don't know. I can't pick. I'm on the fence.
Yeah, I'm on the fence with you, mate. I've got to be honest.
Who are you going for?
It's like I said. I think I'm going to sit on our fence with you, mate. I'm going to have some splinters myself because it's such a good fight, and I think the momentum that Denzel is carrying is a big thing. You said that power. He's been very impressive recently, especially in his last outing. So I think I would edge towards Denzel, but still, it's very, very close, mate.
Well, I'm definitely gonna sit on the fence, Nate, because Key, how many boxers? Honestly, mate, we've interviewed 8 boxer A, and then we've interviewed their opponent, and then they've totally ignored us then and won't speak to us. So I think moving forward, we've got to start sitting on the fence because we seem to annoy people for some reason.
Yeah. See, and that's the thing. It's like that's especially with what you guys do, because boxers are they can be very egotistical as well. Like it's like if I read some stuff online, it's like, oh God, like you just think they haven't got a clue. Like even from boxers' perspective, but they like I say, they're very egotistical. Some boxers can be at least, so they will take offence to you picking someone. But like I say, it's for them. I think it's a mint fight, and Bentley, no doubt, because I don't know what the score is for the British title and stuff, but it's a really tough fight. He's gone to defend it off the back of Efron. So credit to him, he's done superb.
Did you listen to Denzel's advice, mate? Didn't he tell you to move your head more?
No. You see, that's where, like for me personally, like when I saw the interview, the interview that Umar had said about the tweet. Now, I'm not sure if that was actually meant for me or my opponents, because I definitely moved my head. I 100% moved my head, and I just, and on reflection, which I will have a word with the lad when it comes to the Umar. I will have a word with him next time because he made me look a bit. I think he sandbagged me a little bit there. Like when he read it, I thought it was like at the time I agree. I was like, maybe I do need to move my head more. But then watching the fight back, I actually moved my head. I was like moving, doing whatever, and it was my opponent that wasn't moving the head. So was Umar thinking I was shit, or was he a bloody Denzel? I can't think it was Umar. Umar thought I was shit. I thought so. But again, going back to the like I say, I can't take it personally because it is what it is. People got their opinions, haven't they? But I still will speak to him about it when I see him next time.
That's somebody else who've annoyed now. Umar's going to be pissed off on this as well now.
There's a lot of editing to do on this thing, let me tell you.
It's one of them. It's like anything. When you have interviews, you know straight away when you say something or they ask you a question, you already know what the clickbait title is going to be. before you've even finished the conversation. Like, I knew, like, forget me win, forget me fighting stuff. I knew that little 5-second snippet of that video was what they were going to put in the title, and that's exactly what they did. And I was like, I thought next time I'll give him a good clickbait title next time. I'll give him more a good one next time. Yeah, but he's got to make sure he puts it in there. But we'll see.
Another fight.
Use that as clickbait, please, lads. He's going to get annoying.
Raw beef. Nathan Heany versus Umar on my FLTV.
It is what it is, isn't it? But that's where you have to. Like I say, you can't take it personally, because if you did, bloody hell, you get offended left, right, and centre, especially online. It's just what it is.
Yeah, mate. Another fighter, at your weight, I think Kieran touched on. I think you mentioned as well, Liam Williams. He's obviously fighting, Andre the week Saturday. I think he's going to be bringing that world title home to the UK, mate, into Frank's trophy cabinet.
Well, we had this conversation last night, and I won't say you said who they think will win, but I'm picking Williams. I've never watched Andre. Like, I don't know what he's like. I just know he's big, and that's pretty much it, really. I haven't watched him at all, so I can't comment. But when I spotted Liam Williams, he was very early. I think he'd only just started training. Granted, I had as well. I'd only just started training myself, but he was just very good. He's just very strong as well. Like, first 2 rounds with Liam, I was nice. It was a good little spar, but then he just started to pick up the gears a little bit, and the physical strength of him, and I think the attitude that he's got as well is very. He's got a very, very good attitude about him in terms of being an honourable person, really. Outside the ring, he's a lovely gentleman, but inside, I think he's a right nasty piece of work, which is what you need to be at that level. And I think what the discussion we had last night, someone was saying was, well, it's great if it's all going his way, but what if it's on the other foot? But I think he'll cope with it. I think Ingles a great coach. I think they'll have a good game plan. Granted, Willie Hutchinson, it went wrong for him last week or the week before, whatever, but Lennox Clark did really well, so it is what it is. But I think Williams is a different animal. But yeah, I'm going with Williams, but like I said, I don't bet on boxing anyway, so I'm not going to lose anything if I'm wrong.
During the pandemic, Nathan, if there's been one positive within boxing, it's been that I think we've seen more opportunities given than maybe we would have seen beforehand. You were somebody who always seems to grasp an opportunity if it arises. So what are you hoping sort of comes your way now for the rest of the year, mate, realistically?
It's just whatever. I personally don't want to fight without crowds again. But on the flip side, would I prefer to fight with no crowd, or would I prefer to fight with half capacity? I think I prefer to fight with nothing than have half. If you get what I mean, I'm an all or nothing kind of guy. So ideally, I'd want to be fighting June, July time, which is when hopefully restrictions are lifted. Then let's say we said hopefully I can fight in July, but again, is it going to be behind closed doors? Is it going to be with a reduced capacity crowd? I don't know, but it'd be weird. But the thing is, even if I had bloody 400 guys in mine instead of like what would normally be there, they'd still take the place over. So I mean, so it'd still be dead loud. But it's just one of them. It's just, yeah.
Is there anything set in stone with a date to?
There's nothing set in stone yet. I know my manager met with Frank Warren on Thursday, so I'm just. In fact, that was yesterday. So it was yesterday. Met with him, so no doubt he's got a load of stuff that was in the conversations that they had. But I'm probably my manager's easiest fighter he's ever worked with, because I never bother him. I never phone him. I don't do it. I never when I'm fighting. I just leave him to it, and he sorts me out. So, but I might annoy him later on and just phone him up and say, "Listen, what's the deal?"
Nick, just before we go, is the dream still Chris Eubank Jr. at the Bet365 Stadium? Is that still the dream?
That was a good clickbait one that someone got me before. No, essentially all I'd be thinking of, not Chris Eubank as such, anyone with a name that's going to sell that place out. And I use Chris Eubank Jr. just for the fact that he's such a huge name. Like, it doesn't matter what arena you're in. If you're fighting Chris Eubank, there's most likely the tickets are going to sell. But for the fact of the matter is, if it was in Stoke, in the Bet365, with Kashumank and myself, that would just be like, that'd be sold quicker than bloody oatcakes are bloody sold in Stoke, which is their Stoke delicacy. Do you know what I mean? So it's just when I just mentioned the name that would be literally just, you think, boom, it's going to sell. Right back in the day, there was a lad called Scott Lawton, who was a fighter from Stoke, very good fighter. He boxed Amir Khan. And Amir Khan was not only the biggest name in British boxing, he's probably the biggest name in British sport at the time, because he come from the Olympics and ITV and blah, blah, blah. And the amount of people that were there was unreal. So for me, I'll fight anyone that's a massive name.
Wicked, mate. Well, Nath, thanks again for your time today, mate. We both wish you obviously really well for the rest of 2021, and we'd love to catch up again soon.
Yeah, excellent, mate. I appreciate you both having me
no
on.
Worries.
And like I say, anytime. Top lads. Thank you very much.
Okay, cheers, Nath.
Cheers, mate. Take care. Bye.